practices on the Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, and UNICEF representative to the AU and ECA. Welcome to our ambassadors, my sisters, Basma, Dikael, Abimbola, Sada, Kwasar, and Palissa, and I hope I'm pronouncing all the names correctly. Welcome to our guests, our speakers, the participants. Welcome to the launch of Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors Program, SIVA. So today we celebrate and welcome to the African Union and to Saleema family, 6 young, inspiring women from Africa and the diaspora. Congratulations, my sisters, not only for being selected as Saleema ambassadors, but for taking the responsibility to speak up for millions of young women and girls across our continent. This has been a journey. I'm personally emotional about this project. It's close to my heart. Since I was appointed the Youth Envoy of the African Union, it was part of my office action plan to champion the AU campaign and female genital mutilation and to champion Saleema initiative under the leadership and the vision of Commissioner of Social Affairs, Her Excellency Amir Al-Fadil. And I remember when I came to you, Commissioner, and I said, let's create a platform for young people in these advocacy efforts. With no hesitation, you said youth must be the face and the voice of Saleema because they can mobilize action and can articulate the issues. So with the Department of Social Affairs, we jointly opened a call and overwhelmingly received over 2,000 applications from young leaders doing tremendous community. It was important that we have the diaspora represented. It was important that we are opening the space for more diverse voices of young women working on ending FGM to be part of their home institution, the African Union. And the African Union is day after day to fulfill the aspiration of Agenda 2063 to be people-driven, especially by women and youth. And I think SIVA is a concrete action towards our African agenda. I want to also thank our partners, UNICEF and UNFPA, for the continuous support and collaboration. I want to sincerely thank all the team at the Department of Social, the director, and especially Soraya, working tirelessly with my office. I want to thank my team at the Office of the Youth Envoy and everyone who contributed to making this youth program impactful and meaningful, especially despite the challenges of COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. In fact, I think your voices as Saleema ambassador is even more critical now during the pandemic. We know the isolation and lockdowns drastically increase the rate of FGM and child marriage. And yes, there are many other harmful practices in our communities, but FGM is the ultimate form of gender-based violence. And that's why we now have the SIVA program in place. Based on these alarming numbers, I think that the change we're looking to achieve cannot be done without the role of young people, of young Africans. We're more than 70% of this continent. So with our demographic power and innovation power and digital power, we can play a critical role to make this change happen. And if we manage to stop this act of violence, we can then tell patriarchy, enough is enough. So we rely on you, my sisters, to take Saleema initiative to the next level and to start a new phase of Saleema holistic advocacy campaign. You're not only champions, you're advocates. You're at the heart of the implementation of Saleema, and the African Union welcomes you to the space where your voice and leadership matter, because in this institution, we are moving into intergenerational co-leadership. We don't just say youth are demographic dividend, but we enable the space for youth to be, to co-lead and to innovate. So let's galvanize young Africans, including young men, to join the movement to end FGM, and let's shake things up. I welcome you all, and don't forget to tweet Born Saleema and End FGM. Thank you, and I hand over to Kwasar to introduce my mother and mentor, Commissioner of Social Affairs.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, IHB, African Union Info, for your kind words and for making sure that African youth is represented at the highest political levels. You are our older sister, being opening doors, and we are grateful and impatient to work with you. Now I will welcome.
C'est un honneur de travailler avec vous, IHB.
Please go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now I am honored to introduce the mother of Saleema Initiative. She has been working the elimination of female genital mutilation almost in her entire life, has brought Saleema from Sudan to the African continent. We are humbled to thank you. Please welcome Her Excellency Amira Al-Fadli, African UN Commissioner for Social Affairs.
Thank you very much. And I think me and Nefisatu and Dambakombo, we feel very energetic today, having all these young women in front of us, and the energy in your age. It's really for us. It gives us a new energy for at this age. That doesn't mean we are old. So thank you very much, Excellencies. I would like to thank the Ambassador of Burkina Faso, and through you, Ambassador, I would like to thank His Excellency, the President of Burkina Faso, for the very successful conference we had in your country in 2018. And I would like him also for the ongoing efforts as a champion to end FGM in Africa. We met, me and himself, His Excellency, in many events. I know that he is continuing to do this championship. I also thank the First Lady of Burkina Faso also. She's really doing a lot, even among during this COVID-19. So Ambassador, through you, we thank Burkina Faso as a country that championing the elimination of FGM in our beloved continent. I would like also to thank our youth envoy, Aya Shabi, and Aya also, she's really playing a very active advocacy role in all our social agendas. Whenever we call on Aya to come and to participate and to advocate, everything. And I can take COVID-19 as an example. In COVID-19, she's also very active in engaging the African youth. They have launched the African Youth Front just the day before yesterday. We're working also on other epidemics, on malaria. So really, I thank you to all your team, all your office, and those who are engaging with you and connecting with you. Really, by engaging you as a youth envoy, we managed to engage large number of young Africans, and they are now more aware of the African Union Commission, of the African Union and the African Union Commission and the different departments. I think through you, we have also managed to develop the links to your generation, Aya, and to all the young faces I see now on the screen. So thank you very much, Aya, for this effort. Thank you for being a special envoy on youth, and thank you for making this new position a very successful one, because you are the first youth envoy. My sister Nefisatu, we are together in this fight for many years, and I really appreciate you, Nefisatu, and you are ahead of every one of us, working through your different positions at the United Nations, and I thank you, really thank you, and I thank the joint program. All is being done through the joint program. I thank UNIFE, I thank UNICEF, I thank Dr. Eddie with us here, who joined this very important event, and I thank him for all the good work. Let me also thank the Child Rights Committee, and we have with us here Madame Bokombo, representing Azriwak, and she's a well-known child rights expert. Her knowledge, her expertise is an added value to all the programs we are implementing in the Social Affairs Department. And also I would like to thank the Secretariat of Azriwak within my department, that also they are playing a very good role in coordinating what we are doing as social affairs with what Azriwak is doing, with what our experts are doing. So I thank them really, and I thank our goodwill ambassador for ending child marriage. I have not seen her face yet on the screen, but I think she's with us in this meeting. I thank the Senior Advisor on Harmful Practices from UNICEF, Nankali Maksud. Thank you very much for this effort you are doing. I thank all the departments from within the African Union Commission. We have the Department of the Women and Gender Department. They have participated and they are with us in the implementation of the different initiatives. We have the Peace and Security Department. And I don't want to miss mentioning anybody who's supposed to be mentioned and appreciated, but let me say that all of you stakeholders, you are appreciated. But let me give a special thank you to our ambassadors. The ambassadors that's been selected. I know the numbers of those who competed for this ambassadorship are, I don't recall the number, but I know it is a big number. Maybe I later can mention, or Suraya can mention the number, but I know that selecting or choosing you, it was a very good process. It was not an easy process, but welcome on board. Thank you very much for joining us in this fight. You have a big role to play. I can tell you that I joined the fight in 1990s. I know as Rafisat was before me and others before me, and the fight will continue. I hope it will not continue for long. I wish for the generations after you not to have this fight. So let's be hopeful that this fight will end with this generation, not going to be inherited by the coming generation. But I thank you very much and I congratulate you for being chosen as ambassadors, victorious ambassadors. But let me thank the Department of Social Affairs, the Director, Madam Sisi, and all my heads of divisions. I would like to give a special thank you to Robert and Thuraya, and especially Thuraya for the follow-up on this Saleema initiative. Thank you to everybody. Our Saleema initiative, this program, Saleema Initiative, Youth Victorious Ambassadors, the reason to which we have come together today, really, I'm very glad to witness this event, and I would like to share with you, maybe it is known to you that I'm at the end of my term. I have only 4 months to go, but I would like to see all this initiative up and running before leaving the AU. But I can assure you that I will continue to be part of this fight from my new positions. I don't want to announce it now, but later I can share it with you. But it's also a position that can allow me to continue being part of this fight, inshallah. Excellencies, participants, ladies and gentlemen, I'm particularly pleased to be here with you today. And I would like also to mention that when I assumed my role as a Commissioner for Social Affairs in January 2017 at the African Union, alleviating the potential for girls and women within the department mandate was, and it will continue to be, a priority for me. Hence, launching today this platform for young, leading, and brilliant female voices to end harmful practices, particularly female genital mutilation, is especially important moment for me. It's really very important moment for me. It takes courage to speak up against gender-based violence, and especially when it is deeply rooted and accepted as a cultural practice. And I'm coming from a country that have this practice and it's prevailing. It's very widely practiced till today, unfortunately. For this reason, I would like to start by congratulating the 6 selected Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors and thanking them for their engagement and commitment. So thank you very much in advance. I would like also to express my appreciation to the AU Youth Envoy, Ms. Aya Shapi, for this fruitful partnership. Thank you, Aya, again. Excellencies and gentlemen, the African Union Commission, guided by Agenda 2063, by the Mobutu also Protocol and the AU decision for the elimination of female genital mutilation, only to name a few of our regional policies. The African Union is committed to unlocking girls' and women's potential as the continent works to harness the dividend of a growing young population. And this is our theme of 2017, and we are still implementing the roadmap for this investment in the youth. An important aspiration we have as a continent is to ensure an Africa whose development is people-driven, relying on the potential of its people, especially women and youth, and caring for the children. This is our compass. We must end all forms of gender-based violence, including harmful practices like female genital mutilation and child marriage, because the cost of not taking a strong, sustained action is too great to ignore, especially at these times of COVID-19 pandemic. There is reports of increasing of child marriage in our different member states. There is also reports telling us also there is an increase in the practice of FGM. So with COVID-19 pandemic, with the measures taken, with the locking downs, with all these challenges, also the problems are increasing. The family violence and the gender-based violence and the domestic violence also is increasing. Excellencies, Africa accounts for more than 60% of women and girls who have been subjected to female genital mutilation. The growing population, gender inequality, and negative social norms are part of the nexus that continues to perpetuate these harmful practices. Moreover, the COVID-19 pandemic is further compounding this problem. We need urgent and convergent action at all levels. Excellencies, as Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors, your voices are essential. It is because we believe that young women are crucial to the development of our continent, that your presence and leadership is essential, as much as we need strong policy frameworks and legislations banning harmful practices. It is also our duty to create bridges in order to popularize and ensure enforcement of these international and national measures. We are therefore, through this program, creating a space for girls, women, and community empowerment in order to change the norms that drive these practices and move always closer towards the Africa we want. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and also my message to the Youth Victorious Ambassadors, Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors, you are here today, the 6 ambassadors, you are here with us today, selected among, I was trying to recall the number, selected among 2,000 applicants. So out of 2,000 applications, you have been chosen to fulfill a difficult task. It's not easy. I'm not going to tell you it is easy, but it is doable. It is doable. You will be representing the African youth and amplifying young women's messages in order to protect with us the lives of 50 million girls at risk of undergoing female genital mutilation by 2030, if current trends persist. So we need to count in numbers that how many of these 50 million girls we managed to save. Have we managed to save all of them? Have we managed to save less or more? So we need to have this as a target. As girls and women, many things can be and have been unfairly taken from us. But as girls and women, we will continue to defend our human rights for us and the generations to come until every girl born Saleema can grow Saleema and live Saleema. And this is the slogan we used from the beginning. She's born Saleema, let her grow Saleema. Leave her grow Saleema. And was our message was for the parents, for the families, for the communities, for the government officials. So it will continue as a continental message. Excellencies, again, I'm delighted to be with you today in launching this platform. Let me assure you that you have the African Union Commission's full support through the Social Affairs Department. And also I can speak on the rest of the department. Also, they are very committed. We have an able team to support you. I'm sure you know them, and partners interested to work alongside you I mentioned here UNICEF and UNFPA. And here I recognize also our new initiative or our new program, the Spotlight Initiative Africa program. We signed actually this Africa region Spotlight Initiative program in April this year, 2020. Also amid this COVID-19, myself, Ambassador Raniri, representing the European Union, and my sister Hanna Teti, representing the United Nations. The Africa program started after the signing ceremony in April, and we are working now very closely for the implementation on the level of the African Union Commission and also on the level of the selected member states for the Spotlights initiative. And I thank you again. As I said, I thank the three partners to this one, the AU represented by us and others, and the European Union and the United Nations, because there is different stakeholders from the United Nations, and this includes, of course, UNFPA and UNICEF and the joint program, the European Union. And I would like also to send through this platform a special also thank you to the European Union for standing a really very strong to support our pillars to assure that girls and women health, well-being and empowerment will be a reality in our continent. I end by saying that welcome our 6 ambassadors, welcome to the Saleema Initiative team, welcome to the African Union Commission, welcome to the Social Affairs Department, and of course, before all that, welcome as part of the AU Youth Envoy Office. Thank you in advance. We will be very much in support of your work. I wish you all the luck with your mission, and I will be available for you all the time, inshallah. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this warm welcome. We are honored to represent the Saleema Initiative and to work under your guidance and tutelage, even though I was initially scared when you said you'll be leaving in 4 months. But I'm glad you eventually said that you're still going to be around to support us. I know that I can speak on behalf of my sister, my Saleema sisters, when I say that we will do our best, you know, to be worthy ambassadors and to be champions of this trust that you have given us. United Nations has been working on the elimination of female genital mutilation for many years, and more precisely through the UNICEF-UNFPA joint program on NFGM, which started in 2008 and which I have been part of since 2014 when it started in Nigeria. It is my pleasure, therefore, to welcome our next speaker, and he's no other person than one of the leading figures of this work, and we are grateful to have her as our partner and strong ally, you know, on the Saleema Youth Ambassador Initiative. Please welcome Dr. Nafisatu, the Chief of the Gender and Human Rights Branch at UNFPA. It's a great pleasure for me, you know, to welcome you to this meeting. Over.
Good morning,
sorry
everybody.
Sorry to interrupt, Abimbola. Just for us to observe the protocol, we would need to have the ambassador speak first, and then we'll move forward to you, Madame Diop, if that's okay.
No problem.
My apologies too, because I messed up this. So Ambassador of Burkina Faso, Ambassador, welcome. And the floor is yours, and my apologies. Welcome, Ambassador.
So I just want to say a few words. Juste, je vais parler en français. Donc, je veux bien accueillir son Excellence Léopard Bonkongo, ambassadeur du Burkina Faso auprès de l'Union africaine. Ambassadeur, le président de la République du Burkina Faso a été désigné champion de l'Union africaine pour l'élimination des mutilations génitales féminines. par le 32e sommet de l'Union africaine. Et le président m'a accordé à Addis Abeba une audience en marge du récent sommet au mois de février. Et nous avons échangé sur l'initiative Saleema et nous avons proposé une action de dialogue intergénérationnel entre Son Excellence et les ambassadrices du Saleema. Donc, nous saluons le leadership de Son Excellence et nous espérons que malgré la pandémie du Covid-19, nous pourrons toujours honorer l'engagement du président avec les ambassadrices. Excellence, vous avez la parole.
Merci bien, Madame Aya, et pour la présentation et la modération de cette activité. Madame la commissaire en charge des affaires sociales de la Commission de l'Union africaine, Madame la chef du département genre et droits humains de l'UNFPA, et Madame l'ambassadrice de bonne volonté sur l'élimination du mariage des enfants, et distinguées lauréates et jeunes ambassadrices victorieuses Saleema, et Mesdames et Messieurs. Et Madame la commissaire, je voudrais vous remercier pour les compliments et les mots aimables, ainsi que Madame Aya, l'envoyée spéciale des jeunes, et les mots aimables et les compliments exprimés à l'endroit du champion de l'Union africaine sur la lutte contre les MJF, également à l'endroit des autorités burkinabées. Et je ne puis manquer d'exprimer l'appréciation de ma délégation et des plus hautes autorités du Burkina Faso et pour cette belle initiative prise par la Commission de l'Union africaine et à travers, de concert avec l'ensemble des partenaires et pour rendre effectif le lancement virtuel du programme des jeunes et victorieuses ambassadrices Saleema. Il plaît à ma délégation d'apprécier les actions et les initiatives qui ont été menées par le département des affaires sociales pour promouvoir l'initiative Saleema et susciter le soutien et l'accompagnement des partenaires et pour qu'il y ait une synergie d'action dans le cadre de la lutte contre les MJF. Et comme vous l'avez si bien relevé, son Excellence Roch-Marc Christian Kaboré, président du Burkina Faso, a été désigné par ses pairs à l'issue du 32e sommet de l'Union africaine comme champion de l'Union africaine et chargé de la conduite de l'initiative Saleema sur l'accélération de la lutte contre les MJF. C'est dire que le lancement de ce programme des jeunes et victorieuses ambassadrices Saleema est la bienvenue et s'inscrit dans la dynamique des initiatives et des actions et des stratégies de l'initiative Saleema et pour lutter de façon effective contre les MJF et d'autres pratiques traditionnelles néfastes. Et je dirais que, et qui mieux que la jeunesse, notamment les jeunes filles, peuvent être le fer de lance de l'initiative Saleema, et dont l'objectif majeur est de veiller à ce que toutes les filles et toutes les femmes mènent une vie digne et réalisent leur potentiel. Et cette campagne de communication et le lancement de ce programme constitue, à n'en point douter, le meilleur moyen d'aller de l'avant. Et je voudrais saisir l'occasion pour informer que dans son engagement continu et relativement au mandat qui lui a été confié, et le président du Burkina Faso estime qu'une appropriation de cette lutte et par les jeunes, par la jeunesse, est capitale et essentielle. Et son Excellence a reçu dans cette vision le 13 juillet de cette année au palais présidentiel et des jeunes venus des 13 régions de Burkina Faso. Et à l'occasion, il leur a transmis le flambeau de lutte contre les MJF en sollicitant leur concours parce que c'est eux en tant que jeunesse, c'est eux en tant que génération montante qui sont à même de porter les préoccupations et de faire en sorte que les MJF ne soient qu'un lointain souvenir. Je voudrais à cette étape me joindre à Madame la Commissaire, à vous-même Madame Aya, et à l'ensemble des participants pour féliciter les jeunes ambassadrices et victorieuses Saleema. Et je voudrais leur dire qu'au-delà de leurs personnes respectives, et ce sont les espérances de milliers, voire de millions de jeunes filles et de femmes qu'elles portent. Et pour que cessent les MJF et autres pratiques traditionnelles néfastes à l'encontre des femmes. Vous serez dans vos communautés respectives des ambassadrices et des messagers pour galvaniser et accélérer l'action de tous et de chacun et pour éradiquer la pratique des MJF. Et nous estimons que dans la vision de notre union, inspirée de l'agenda 2063 et l'Afrique que nous voulons, il est essentiel que nous maintenions ferme notre engagement à protéger les filles et les femmes de toutes les pratiques néfastes et de rester résolus à ce que les filles et les femmes mènent une vie digne et réalisent, comme je le disais, leur potentiel. Et pour terminer, je voudrais réitérer l'engagement du champion et de mon pays, le Burkina Faso, à poursuivre les efforts engagés dans le cadre du mandat qui a été confié à son Excellence, Monsieur le chef de l'État du Burkina Faso, et pour que l'initiative Saleema puisse être menée à bon port. Et nous souhaitons plein succès à nos jeunes ambassadrices et victorieuses Saleema, et surtout plein succès à ce programme. Je vous remercie.
Merci beaucoup, ambassadeur. Merci, Excellence. Nous apprécions. Merci d'être avec nous aujourd'hui et pour l'engagement du Burkina Faso. We will now continue the program, but I also wanted to recognize Ambassador Salah Hamad, Head of AGA Secretariat. Thank you for being with us and for your comment on the chat supporting the initiative. I wanted also to welcome again all of you. We have more than 250 participants coming from Syria, Tunisia, Egypt, Nigeria, Uganda, Burundi, I think more than 30 African countries. So thank you for being with us and continue to tweet at the hashtag Born Saleema. I wanted also to say that we're doing things differently today. I'm not moderating the event. Our ambassadors are taking ownership since day one of the program and they're doing brilliantly. So I will now hand over to Abimbola and other ambassador to take charge, and we will take back seat.
Okay, thank you very much, Shaya. Like I said before, it's time to listen to our very own Dr. Nafisatu to give a speech, which I am so much looking forward to. So welcome again, ma'am, and you have the floor.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Aya, and all the other young ambassadors. It is really a pleasure for me to be here today, and I know that when a year ago this idea was flagged by Aya about having those youth ambassador and Commissioner El Fadil. We were so excited. So we are very, very, very happy to see this moment today where we are all launching together, this initiative and the fantastic, ambassadors that have been selected over 2,000 applications. So I would like really to greet Your Excellency Amira El Fadil, Commissioner of the African Union, who has been an incredible champion in her country, Sudan, but then at the African Union, lifting this campaign to eliminate FGM, to that level. Madam Commissioner, I think that you have let your name in the history of Africa, and thank you so much. I would like to recognize Monsieur l'ambassadeur Léopold Bonkougou du Burkina Faso, ambassadeur donc du Burkina auprès de l'Union africaine. Nous sommes vraiment très flattés de vous avoir aussi aujourd'hui dans ce panel, en reconnaissant aussi du soutien sans limite que le Burkina Faso a montré au courant, je veux dire, des 20 dernières années où j'ai commencé à travailler sur cette campagne pour éliminer les mutilations génitales féminines. I would like to thank also our Goodwill Ambassador from the African Union on End-Child Marriage, Honorable Marie-Christine Bokoum, Member and Special Rapporteur of Harmful Practice on the Committee of Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child, and African Union Special Rapporteur on Ending Child Marriage. I would like also to recognize here the presence of several ambassadors from Egypt, Mauritania, Nigeria, Chad, Somalia, South Africa, and my partner, strong partner from UNICEF, the director of the Office of Liaison of UNICEF to the African Union. Eddie, thank you so much. So I would like just a few remarks because of the time, and I think that we want to hear more from this ambassador than from us. We are talking for so many years now. Just to say that, on behalf of the UNFPA and UNICEF joint program that had the pleasure to coordinate during 10 years, I would like to again reaffirm that we have been working for the past 10 years in supporting governments and civil society organizations of a certain number of countries. Unfortunately, not all the countries affected by female genital mutilation in Africa and beyond. But with the resources that we receive from our generous donors, we have been able to support an enabling environment, to strengthen services, to really help in designing and putting in place and national coordination system to respond to this pandemic of female genital mutilation. The National FGM Board, the coordination, the CNLPE, the different type of name, but all representing an incredible effort of coordinating the response with different government units, but also with grassroots and civil society organizations. We had the pleasure also to support directly CSO, capacity development and action and grassroots level, and strengthen the services from the Ministry of Health, administrative data, but also Ministry of Women and Gender, and other ministries that are part of the multi-sectoral approach, because we do know that it has to be a concerted and effort and integrated effort to address this issue. And of course, our main work has been really to look at this social norm that is female genital mutilation and really try to understand how we can address it. How, without creating any tension, we can bring communities, religious leaders, traditional leaders, women, girls, and all the different stakeholders and guardian of the community, guardian of the culture, to be part of this change and understand that we can keep our girls safe, we can protect our girls and our women, and we can protect our culture and our tradition without this practice of female genital mutilation, which is so harmful. And really, it was really an important work that has been done with everybody. And I can say that for me, the pivotal moment was one in 2018 when the president of Burkina Faso, accepted to be a leader, in front of the African Union, which was after that adopted by all these peers in February 2019. But it started in that conference in Ouagadougou, where we were with commissioner leadership there. And also the president of Kenya commitment to end female genital mutilation in Kenya by 2022 is term at the head of the country. And I would like also to recognize some other head of states from Guinea I can name, because I heard so many strong speech that he has done, from Egypt and other, just to name few of them, but just to show that the work that has been done, and you today as grassroots activists, looking at us as sometimes, criticizing us, because you want things to move faster, because you want things to be, more, you want us to be more bold. I just want to say that, those are steps that we have reached today in this big initiative to end female genital mutilation in Africa and beyond. That is not, that we shouldn't minimize, and it's a very, very important one. I would like to just say that this year, UNFPA State of the World Population was named against my will, and was trying to call for the urgent accelerated action to stop female genital mutilation, child marriage, gender-based sex selection, and other harmful practice. The report has drawn an incredible attention to the issue of female genital mutilation and other harmful practice, covered by media more than almost 2,000 times in 25 languages, reaching social media, millions of people. So thank you so much for all your support for that, but that was a call for accelerated action, because we now have less than 10 years. And we are in that decade of action where we need to accelerate our work and ensure that we will have 0 new cases of FGM in 2030. And Commissioner and myself said that even if we are old, we will be there. to see that moment, that incredible moment. And we believe that with you as young ambassadors, as activists that are connected today with us, as leaders, as government and ambassadors, we will make it. So I would like here to really call my daughters, because I'm quite old, courageous ambassadors, Basti, Dikel, Abimbola, Sada, Kwasar, Palesa. We are ready to support you through, of course, our technical capacities, our experience, respecting our gray hairs, but also funding. And I would like to recognize that whatever we have as support and funds from our generous donors, we will put it in your hands to really advance this campaign and this initiative to end FGM, because we do believe in the power of young people. And last February 2020, if you remember, the 6th February, the theme was the unleash the power of young people. So today, I think that we are there, and you are the ambassador who are going to lead, you know, a cohort of millions of young people to end this practice. So thank you so much. I would like just to recognize again that our generous supporter, Spotlight initiative funded by the European Union, Norway, Sweden, Iceland, Italy, Luxembourg, Spain, ESID, United Kingdom, France, Austria are supporting financially this campaign in Africa, and probably a lot of other donors and NGO. We want to recognize them and thank them for that. So just my last word is that today we welcome you on board, ambassadors, and we respect you, and we are looking forward to working with you. Hashtag #EndFGM, hashtag Born Saleema in Africa and in the world. Thank you so much.
Dear Dr. Job, thank you for your word and your collaboration with us. The Saleema initiative would not be the same without your unfailing support. We thank you as our UN partner, and we thank you as our African entity who has been defying our rights for decades. Female genital mutilation is not only harmful practice which the African Union works tirelessly to tackle. In fact, the Department of Social Affairs has launched in 2030 the campaign to end child marriages, which has been since in 28 countries. Our next speaker is a hero. She has worked more than 20 years to advance the right of women and girls in more organizations than I can count. Today, it is the African Union Goodwill Ambassador for the AU campaign to end child marriages that I am pleased to introduce Mrs. Nyaradzai Bumbonranza. Sorry, I hope that I pronounced it very well. Thank you. Please, the floor is yours.
You said perfectly. Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Moderator, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Burkina Faso, and all the member states present. Thank you to the member states for daring to translate all these policies into real life of girls in our lives, and for Burkina Faso to lead in ending FGM. My own Commissioner for Social Affairs, I remember when we had our first meeting and he said, you know what, Nyaradzai, it's not complete for us to address issues of the rights of girls through ending child marriage without ending FGM. And you rolled your sleeves up, and today we are launching a milestone with the ambassadors for ending FGM. Congratulations and thank you for your leadership, Your Excellency. I really value working through you for the work that we do at the African Union. Our own special envoy for youth, Aya, when you arrived on the table, you turned around the African Union because you turned that demographic dividend into voice, so that the African youth are not just a statistic in the spaces of decision making, but the African young people are leaders today in carrying forward the vision of the African Union. Thank you and congratulations. My own colleague, the Special Rapporteur on ending child marriage and a member of the experts, I rise up to you because you carry an extra mandate. Me, I'm the advocate, I speak. You bring accountability of the member states through that committee and through your report, and thank you for the extraordinary work that you continue to do. My colleagues in the UN, Nafisatu and Dr. Eddie, in my previous life, I was part of the UN and I remain. Thank you so much for the extraordinary work you continue to do. At times, I can feel you want to be activists and I expected to remain diplomats. And we just love how you continue to navigate the space and the mandate that you have in order to push the issues at the table and to give the rights to the African woman, especially as we speak today. Thank you. I enjoy working with you, and thank you for all the support. Amazing, 250 something people, civil society networks out there. Me, I live in my village. I'm talking from my village, so I connect with the 250 some people out there. I saw Save the Children there, so colleagues from Kenya. Thank you. Change does not happen unless we dare in our community. So congratulations for being part of the Saleema initiative. It's really humbling to welcome my co-ambassadors. I call you my co-ambassadors because I remember also being challenged that the campaign to end child marriage or to end FGM demands multiple voices at multiple spaces simultaneously for us to be an orchestra for the transformation that we need to say. And definitely your mandate connects with the vision of the African Union. We can never be a prosperous Africa that is at peace with itself if the daughters of Africa are bleeding to death, bleeding with pain, dropping out of school, getting married early, suffering the trauma in silence. We can never achieve that vision of a prosperous Africa unless the daughters of Africa live a life of dignity, a life of rights, and a life where they have justice. You are the ambassadors who are contributing to that vision of Africa through the Saleema initiative. Congratulations. When I was appointed AU Goodwill Ambassador, I had no idea what I was expected to do, but I knew that I have a mandate. The mandate is huge, it's exciting. So I just want to share 3 big pieces that I have learned since appointed AU Goodwill Ambassador on ending child marriage, for us to connect on what are some of the insights expected of us. So I'm not going to the content of FGM and link with child marriage. You have that, definitely. But I just want to say my experience as AU Goodwill Ambassador. So first is dare to speak up, dare to speak out, and dare to speak always. You speak through writing, you speak on social media, you speak in workshops, you speak in your family, you speak with your friends. But you speak. Silence is not an option unless if it is a strategy. It can only be a strategy, but not an option. Dare to be the voice. Speak with confidence. Speak with evidence. Speak with data. Speak with the stories. Speak with the emotion. When it hurts, say it hurts. When we celebrate, let's celebrate. Speak with humanity, speak with empathy. Speak connecting with the girl that we are speaking for. Speak together with, and don't speak alone. You are but a connector. You connect those who are having the experience with the policymakers. You connect the experiences of the girls with those who are providing services. You connect with the media. You connect when the wrong story is being told, and yet you connect when you need to demand dignity, when the survivor of abuse is treated as a victim, when she is a leader and a victor and she's treated as a beneficiary. You speak, not alone, but together with. Dare to engage. Dare to engage with the African Union. The African Union is multiple tapestry of institutions. Dare to be in the tapestry of possibilities that exist within the African Union, from the Commission to the specialized institutions of the African Union, the network of partners. Dare to connect for effectiveness and not just for visibility. Dare to engage on the most sensitive issues. Dare with respect and dignity, ask our member states to be accountable or to have that policy in place. Dare to name where there are barriers, but name with solutions. An ambassador is not only for raising that the cup is half empty, be part of offering the solutions. dare with respect and dignity to leverage the potential of the African identity, the African culture, the positive culture, but equally dare to engage with our African traditional institutions for us to transform those institutions. Leverage the potential that exists with the Council for Traditional Leaders in Africa for us to really, really transform and reclaim the total identity and the beauty of who Africa is and the beauty of our culture without abuse and violation of girls, without abuse and violation of human rights. Dare to be spiritual, dare to celebrate your faith, dare to pray, dare to connect with religious communities, but in ways where we are able to also transform and to question, because we are also endowed with the potential of being prophetic in the work that we do. I want to end with a commitment. I commit in my work not only to advance our campaign to end child marriage, for we must, but always to tell the twin story with FGM and to connect with the embedded, harmful, patriarchal notions. I commit to working with you as a network of victorious ambassadors. You are the victorious ambassadors for the rights, dignity, and justice for African girls, for African families, and for communities. I commit to retweet. I commit to amplify your voices and to be present where you need me to be present. And I also dare to reach out to you so that you can also, we can support each other in the work that you do. I want to end with really appreciating all the partners and to request. I am running Rosaria Memorial Trust. I may be resourced through Rosaria Memorial Trust, through the various network of partners. These young people who are ambassadors need airtime bundles. Honestly, this work requires them to be supported at a very practical level. Because at times we offer leadership, and at times we don't sufficiently enable them to lead. So my single ask to the African Union Commission, to the partners present, to the organizations that surround the amazing young ambassadors, let's support them, let's resource their effective voice, because they are the tapestry of the transformation for Africa. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your speech. I am inspired, and I speak on behalf of everyone that we're really looking forward to working with you, Mrs. Naritai. I am inspired. I am literally taking your hashtag, Dare to Speak. I am a storyteller. I am a filmmaker. I am here today because the way we tell our stories as women and for women matters. Today we are here making history because two women exactly 1 year ago decided it was time to change the narrative around African women and girls. 1 year ago, Her Excellency Amira Al-Fadil and Aya Chebi have come together and imagined the six of us. They called us their champions. They imagined us, envisioned us, and they created a story in which our voices matter. Thank you so much for believing in the power of young Africa. And I hope you enjoyed the video.
There is a problem with the voice, I think. The audio, is it okay? The audio.
No, we can't hear.
We'll continue. This is to tell young people that it's not an initiative only of the African Union. At the African Union, we set the framework, we galvanize the advocacy towards member states and towards the regional economic communities. But this is for young people, because young people are on the ground and on the front line of fighting to end FGM and to end child marriage. So this initiative would not be successful if youth are not part of it, if the whole community is not part of it, and if intergenerational dialogue is not a core and integral part of it. So I think this intergenerational conversation is very important for the elimination of FGM in Africa. We will continue making use of the special envoy of the chairperson of the African Union Commission. I can look into other young women or men leaders in the different member states to help her on this, because we need on the national level to identify champions that they can work also with us.
Hi everyone, my name is Basma Kamil. I'm 28 years old. I'm from Egypt. I'm the Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador for the diaspora.
Tabela, and greetings everyone. My name is Palesa Mashao. I'm 23 years of age and I'm from South Africa. I am the Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador for the Southern African region.
Je suis Saada Mohamed, je viens des ans italiens des nationalités. Je suis l'ambassadrice victorieuse de la jeunesse Saleema pour la région de l'Afrique centrale.
My name is Abdin Bola Alade Jerry. I am 33 years old. I'm a Nigerian. I am the Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador for West Africa. My name is Zikya. I'm 29 years old and I'm from Nigeria. I'm the Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador for the North Africa region.
I'm 23 years old from Somaliland. I am Saleema Youth Ambassador for East Africa.
The Africa I want is the Africa where there's justice for women and children. The Africa I want is the Africa where women and children are seen, but not only are they seen, but they are also heard by the African government.
The Africa I want is Africa where women are valued, where women are supported, where gender-based violence, including female genital mutilation, becomes history.
An Africa where women and girls contribute to the welfare and the economic growth in all African countries.
The Africa I want is an Africa that gives equal opportunity both men and women, an Africa that protects its young people from harmful practices like FGM.
Is Africa with 0% of FGM, with full support of women's rights and 0% domestic abuse.
L'Afrique que je vis, c'est une Afrique unie, prospère et fondée sur des valeurs humaines.
Africa is a continent of young people, and it will continue. 60% of the current population is young people, under 20.
And it will double.
And it will double. So that's why the conversation with us and with the new generations, it has to continue.
Enjoy, Saleema.
I think there is some problems with the video. No, where is Aya? Aya?
Aya had to leave, Excellency. She had
Maybe Thuraya?
the GA.
I think there is some issue with them. Yeah.
Excellency, can you hear me? Excellency? Excellency, I'm not sure you can hear me. I had to leave. She had another commitment. I am sorry about the video. We had a technical issue, but we will continue. Now it is Saada Jadid Mohammed who will introduce our next speaker. Saada, c'est quand tu veux. Saada, bonjour.
I think, Madame Bokum, you are our next speaker. I'm just hijacking the microphone.
Yes,
but I know that you are our next speaker.
One of the ambassadors, Saada,
there's some connection problems. So, Madame Bokum.
Merci. Merci, Madame le Commissaire. Excellence, distingués invités, bon après-midi à tout le monde. Et permettez que je commence mon propos en adressant mes plus chaleureuses félicitations et souhaiter la bienvenue à nos jeunes victorieuses ambassadrices Saleema et vous dire combien je suis ravie de faire partie de cette réunion aujourd'hui en ma qualité de membre du comité africain d'experts sur les droits et le bien-être de l'enfant et de rapporteur spécial sur le mariage des enfants et les pratiques traditionnelles néfastes. L'agenda 2063 sur l'Afrique que nous voulons appelle à l'élimination de toutes les formes de violence fondées sur le genre, y compris les mutilations génitales féminines. Et cela s'inscrit dans le droit fil de l'agenda 2030 pour le développement durable, qui appelle également à l'élimination de toutes les formes de pratiques traditionnelles néfastes. Nos instruments régionaux, tels que la Charte africaine des droits de l'homme et des peuples, mais aussi et surtout, en ce qui nous concerne ici, la Charte africaine des droits et du bien-être de l'enfant prévoit des dispositions pour la protection des enfants en général et des filles en particulier contre les pratiques néfastes telles que les mutilations génitales féminines et le mariage des enfants. Et cela est clairement défini dans l'article 21 de la Charte africaine des droits et du bien-être de l'enfant, et qui s'intitule « Protection contre les pratiques ».
Désolée de vous interrompre.
Oui.
On a un problème avec la traduction en anglais. On va juste vous demander un instant.
D'accord.
I'm sorry, Madame Mokom, there is, I think, a problem with the interpretation.
Yes, I got it.
There is no English. Yeah, there is no English translation.
We can hear you.
I don't know if someone can tell us what's happening with interpreters. Maybe Suraya?
I can hear you.
Now,
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
It's okay?
Thank you.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can continue, Madame Boko.
Thank you. Et donc, outre la charte, l'agenda 2040 pour les enfants d'Afrique, adopté à l'initiative du comité par le Conseil exécutif de l'Union africaine en 2017, avec comme thème directeur « Favoriser une Afrique digne pour ses enfants » est un document important pour faire le suivi de la mise en œuvre de la charte par les États parties. D'ici 2040, nous aspirons à ce que le droit de l'enfant africain soit fermement et pleinement protégé et avec plein effet aux priorités de ce programme. L'aspiration 7 de cet agenda rappelle notre objectif commun qui est celui que chaque enfant est protégé contre la violence, l'exploitation, la maltraitance et les abus et aspire à ce que d'ici 2040, les pratiques néfastes telles que le repassage des seins, les mutilations génitales féminines, l'excision, le mariage des enfants ont cessé. L'initiative Saleema fait suite à une décision du sommet de l'Union africaine de 2019 appelant à une action accélérée pour éliminer la pratique des MGF, en plus de réclamer des cadres législatifs solides qui interdisent cette pratique, des ressources nationales pour fournir des services de protection et de soins nationaux et de soins aux filles et aux femmes qui ont subi des MGF, la nécessité de travailler avec les communautés et les leaders d'opinion traditionnels, religieux, comme vient de le mentionner ma collègue, pour lutter contre les normes sociales négatives qui perpétuent les disparités entre les sexes et donner foi aux pratiques néfastes. La décision appelle également à un cadre continental de responsabilisation qui contrôle la mise en œuvre par les États membres des obligations et engagements pour éliminer les violations des droits humains, les violences basées sur le genre et les violences sexuelles dues aux pratiques néfastes comme les mutilations génitales féminines et le mariage des enfants. Le comité travaille en étroite collaboration avec nos collègues du département des affaires sociales et des autres départements de la Commission pour mener à bien cette initiative. Cependant, comme nous le savons, les cadres juridiques, qu'ils soient nationaux ou continentaux, ne sont efficaces que s'ils sont accompagnés de programmes permettant de sensibiliser et d'engager les citoyens et citoyennes de tous âges et de tous les pays. C'est là l'ambitieux projet du programme que nous lançons aujourd'hui, celui des jeunes et victorieuses ambassadrices Saleema. Le comité accompagne ce programme depuis ses débuts, puisque nous avons participé à travers notre secrétariat au processus de sélection et nous sommes fiers aujourd'hui de pouvoir vous rencontrer. La tâche qui vous est confiée ne sera pas simple, puisque vous, dont nous célébrons aujourd'hui l'entrée dans notre famille, vous aurez la responsabilité de mobiliser la jeunesse de notre continent, qui compose plus de 60% de notre population. Nous vous assurons de notre soutien total et nous pouvons vous assurer que nous valorisons déjà votre apport très précieux, car nous ne pouvons faire avancer le droit des femmes, des hommes et des enfants sans nous adresser à la jeunesse et sans co-matérialiser avec elle l'objectif majeur de l'agenda 2063, l'Afrique que nous voulons en 2063. Il est de notre responsabilité de préparer cette nouvelle génération à poursuivre notre travail et il est de leur responsabilité de se nourrir de notre expérience. Et comme l'ont dit mes prédécesseurs, je peux vous assurer que nous ne nous retirons pas en vous confiant cette tâche. Nous serons à vos côtés et vous pouvez faire appel à nous comme vous voulez. Et puisque nous sommes au lancement et aux promesses de ce programme, la question qui se pose aujourd'hui est celle-ci. Comment les jeunes femmes peuvent-elles mener le processus pour l'élimination des mutilations génitales féminines en Afrique? Chères ambassadrices, la réponse à cette question vous incombe. Vous avez donc la parole. Et je pense que nous allons peut-être commencer par son Excellence Kwassar Moussé de Somalie, qui représente l'Afrique de l'Est. Vous avez la parole. On dirait qu'il y a des problèmes là.
Thank you, Mrs. Bukom, for your inspiring speech. I'm happy here today that you have me to be one of the Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador to eliminate female genital mutilation in Africa. My name is Basma, I'm from Egypt. And about the question that you answered now, how young women can lead the process of elimination of female genital mutilation. First of all, female genital mutilation is a very harmful practice that must end with survivors-led initiative and movements with full engagement of all communities in Africa to promote for elimination of this practice. And myself, as being a Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador, we 6 young women have been having this prestigious opportunity to take an action to end this practice in Africa with full support of all partners for our voices to be heard and to break the silence and to take an action to end this practice. So I think cooperation together to network and work in grassroots level to strengthen voices of young women to lead the ending this practice. Also working and global mobilization will open spaces for international dialogue with all stakeholders and policymakers, and will give an access to young women to be a part of the discussions, and give an opportunity for all partners to share needs, experiences, and best practices in African countries, for all survivors to learn and to share experiences. So we as young women can lead the process by supporting other survivors to speak out and share their experiences, and guide each other and support each other for all services to overcome the traumas that we have as survivors and victims of FGM. So, and we should live our lives as we choose. Our bodies is our choices, and we are born Saleema. We want to live Saleema as well. I hope that I shared my point of view, and now I would leave the floor to another ambassador, Dikel, to share her point of view. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. What an honor for us to be selected as a Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador. So my name is Dikel Dia. I'm the Shiva for the North Africa region. So first of all, female genital mutilation is one of the forms of gender-based violence, and therefore undeniably a violence under women's rights. In Mauritania, the rate of excited women and girls stands at 66.6%, all age according to the MICS-5, of which 53.2% from 0 to 14 years old. This late figure indicates that female genital mutilation is performed from a young age, most often a few weeks after birth, rarely after a year. This prevalence is higher in the southern than in the northern of the country from the point of view of ethnic distribution of cases. The highest prevalence is among the Soninke, 92%, and the lowest among the Wolof, 28%. The society in general, and the FGM practitioner in particular, find a justification for excision in religion. In addition, these religious beliefs justifying FGM practice can have a cultural dimension. In my community, Fulani, for instance, a girl who did not undergo an FGM is considered as defiled, non-halal. According to the elders, this girl cannot give drinks or prepare food for men because anything that comes from her is not pure. She is not even worthy to be a wife. This alarming situation, which persisted despite the various actions undertaken over 10 years in the fight against female genital mutilation in Mauritania, led the public authorities to develop in 2007, with the technical and financial support of UNFPA and UNICEF, a national strategy to promote the abandon of FGM. This strategy was updated in 2015 and translated into an action plan. Religious associations and the guides have been involved at the highest level to shed light on Islam's position in the issue of FGM. This experience of the fight against FGM in my country strengthens me in the conviction that young women can play a decisive role in the process for the elimination of FGM in Africa by focusing on the following points. First, identifying girls at risk and develop a protection mechanism. Carrying out an awareness campaign on harmful effects of FGM. Popularize the law criminalizing the practice of FGM. Make the voice of FGM survivors heard and collect their life stories and publish them to raise awareness of this devastating practice in the lives of girls and women. carrying out actions to raise awareness of practitioners, parents, and all those involved in the harmful consequences of FGM. Encourage a movement of young boys and men for Saleema girl. That is said, a girl who is not excited, a girl, a complete girl. Carrying out advocacy actions with the public authorities so that FGM survivors benefit from adequate calorie system services in the term of FGM prevention, protection, and care. Contribute to strengthening the capacities of girls and women to exercise and express their rights by changing social and gender norms in communities in order to eradicate FGM and all other harmful practices such as child marriage. Continue, the last point is to continue to demystify, in particular, religious justification through the involvement of ulama. It is needed, vital, that communities understand that female genital mutilation, it is not recommended by Islam at all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Basma and Dikel, for the very interesting perspective. My name again is Abimbola Aladejari. I'm the West African Youth Ambassador, and I am a survivor of FGM. And for me, the most painful part is that I never got to know that I was mutilated until I was 25 years old. And for me, that was a big deal. Like, I was mutilated, and from day one of my birth till I was 25 years old, nobody mentioned it to me. So for me, it shows that the culture of silence is one prominent factor that promotes the practice of FGM. And I went back home and I confronted my mom. I challenged her. Why did you, allow me to go through this? And she apologized immediately, and she told me that she didn't know that FGM was harmful as at then. And she didn't mutilate my kid sister, who is 9 years older than I am. For me, that experience sent a message that was very clear to me. First, I was able to forgive my mom because she did it thinking it was in the best interest of me as a girl child. And when she got the right information, she didn't mutilate my kid sister. So for me, it means that if mothers, young women, are aware that FGM is harmful to their child, there is a likelihood that the practice will be abandoned by such informed mother. So for me, there is a lot of things that we can do as young women to end FGM, because first, we are the victims, survivors, and then we are the mothers of the new generation of girls that we want to be born Saleema. So the first thing I am championing and campaigning for as young Saleema ambassador is that we can have a survivors network where we can support one another, share experiences, and be able to help each other through the trauma, because the world is doing a whole lot, to end the practice of FGM, but not much is being done to provide support to survivors of FGM. So I think that my friends out there and our mothers and fathers can support us to have a survivors network. We can have a quarterly or yearly magazine where survivors share their stories and how they were able to move from being a victim to being a survivor. Also, I wanted to raise a germane point, because I know that FGM is harmful. A lot of people are emotional. We want the practice to stop. But we also need to remember the do no harm principle. Over 200 million women and girls have been caught around the world. And these 200 million are not, it's not just a number, they are human beings, flesh and blood. And some of us are not married yet. So I hear a number of campaigns where people are saying, no, we are going to tell our parents to stop FGM because we are not going to marry girls that are caught, you know, and I'm like, excuse me, so what happened? This is like double punishment, you know, so we need to remember the do no harm principle. We need to be, you know, sensitive to the needs of survivors of FGM. And sometimes when we use a normal external genitalia, or when we use a normal girl or a complete girl, it makes a survivor like me sometimes feel like, you mean I'm not normal? You mean I'm not complete? So I think we need to pay attention to that as young women. And I also need, I need the African leaders to establish a survivors fund and a survivor center where survivors can walk in and access unbiased information and services that will help them to pull through and stand up to become activists. If people like us, who are the Saleema Youth Ambassadors today, didn't get help, you know, we may not be able to come out to speak boldly and even share our experiences as ambassadors of End FGM. Because of our time, I think that I will need to hold it up here so that I do not take, I have a lot of things written down, but I'll give my other sisters, Saleema Youth Ambassadors, the opportunity to add to what I've said. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Abimbola. Thank you very much for this very complete and comprehensive response. And I understand that you certainly have a lot more that you would like to share, and we will have more events for you to share your experience and your thoughts on the question. Saada Jadid Mohamed is next from Chad. Saada, est-ce que tu m'entends? Saada? Est-ce que tu peux m'entendre? Saada, est-ce que tu nous entends?
Bonjour, bonjour.
Ah, bonjour Saada, on peut t'entendre à présent. La parole est à toi.
Yes, we can hear you.
Alors, we seem to have a technical problem with Saada's connection. So we are now going to move to Kausar Muse, who is our Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador for East Africa. The floor is yours, Kausar.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you everyone who attended this call. And if I try to answer the question, how can young women drive the process of eliminating female genital mutilation? The first thing that young women, regardless of their race, their creed and nationality, should do is to educate themselves about the origin of this practice and the long-lasting impact that it has on women's life. Coming from a society that practices and that 98% of women go through FGM, I spent my entire childhood and adolescent ignorance believing that FGM was a religious and necessary procedure until I came to an international high school and I met with a woman with a different background. I began to ask and to question what happened to me, my 7-year-old self. By doing my own research, I discovered that this was misogynistic practice stemmed from cultural sexist view that I was, and that the day I decided to fight this battle and save many girls as I can. Believing young women, by raising awareness and breaking the taboo, creating a space women can speak and share their experience. We can end this practice. This is a subject that in my society is stigmatized and not allowed to question. The misogynist. And the second reason that many women cannot question is because Many women don't want to remember and don't want to remember the pain that they went through and to become re-traumatized. They intentionally are trying to forget this cycle that they went through. We must empower, therefore we must empower those young women with the knowledge that they need and the social cycle support that they need. So as a young woman, I believe we have a bigger role to eradicate FGM. It's a woman who knows this pain. It's a woman who can relate our suffering. It's a woman who can end this backward practice once and for all. So we all need to educate women, because once they have the education, they can change what happens. Like they have the voice to take their rights. So that's all I will say. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much, Kawsar. Thank you very much for your intervention and participation. Let's see again if we can have Saada. She told me that her mic doesn't seem to work. Saada, est-ce que tu peux nous entendre? Effectivement, nous, on ne t'entend pas. Je pense que tu as un problème de microphone. Allô, allô, est-ce que tu nous entends? So while Saada tries to fix her mic problem, let's now move to Paleza Machao, who is our Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador for the southern region of Africa. She is with us from South Africa. Paleza, please take the floor.
Greetings, everyone. Well, my name is Saleema Machao, and I am the Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassador for Southern Africa. All of us here have been told stories one way or another, whether by a grandmother, a neighbor, or a family member. These stories get passed on from generations to generations. This is another way in which social norms, social expectations, misconceptions, and misinformations about female genital mutilation or any harmful practices get passed on from generation to generations. I am a storyteller at heart, and I believe storytelling is a powerful tool which can be used to drive social change when used wisely. With the right research, storytelling can shift social norms, values, and beliefs, and social beliefs more effectively about female genital mutilation compared to traditional fact-based messaging. For instance, we can look at a film titled Yesterday by Daryl Wood. It is a film which depicts a woman's lived experiences in relation to being infected or affected by HIV and AIDS. Representations in films such as Yesterday can potentially influence people's self-evaluation, empowerment, and attitude towards a lot of issues within Africa. And that's exactly what the film Yesterday did in South Africa. And I suggest that we do the same with female genital mutilation by not just showing how horrific the practice is to young girls like any other YouTube documentary video, but we channel towards sharing stories which challenges the social norm. For instance, stories of women who have never been through the practice, but are probably married or have kids, sharing stories which break the silence. Sharing stories where we give the right information about how exactly a woman's health gets affected if she has been through the practice of FGM. I'm talking about film storytelling of women with names and surnames, and not just FGM victims, but survivors. Stories that reflect the lived experiences of the affected communities. Storytelling engages people at every level, not just in the emotions, but in the values and imaginations, which are the drivers of real change. So if we want to transform society, especially when it comes to ending female genital mutilation, then we must learn to tell and to listen to a new set of stories about the world we want to create. And this is how I want to play my part in driving the process for the elimination of female genital mutilation by changing the narrative around African women and girls and FGM. I thank you.
Lisa, thank you very much for your intervention. Saada tells me that her mic now is working. Saada, est-ce que tu peux nous entendre? Est-ce que ton micro fonctionne?
Allô, allô.
Ah oui, nous t'entendons.
Allô.
On t'entend.
Hello.
Tu peux y aller en français. On t'entend. S'il te plaît, à toi la parole.
Bonsoir à tout le monde. Hello.
Saada, est-ce que tu m'entends?
Yes, we
Okay.
can hear you.
Bonjour à
Yes,
tout
we
le
can hear
monde.
you. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Saada, on t'entend. Il y a un
Je
décalage,
suis vraiment honorée d'être parmi vous aujourd'hui et je suis aussi consciente de la mission qu'on nous a confiée. Et en tant que victime, je suis vraiment consciente des conséquences de cette pratique et je suis vraiment prête à donner pour ces combats. Bon, je vais aborder notre thématique sous l'angle vraiment juridique parce que la pratique des mutilations génitales féminines est considérée comme une violence des droits humains des filles et des femmes, lesquels sont codifiés dans plusieurs traités internationaux et régionaux. La Déclaration universelle des droits de l'homme contient plusieurs articles dont l'ensemble constitue une base pour la condamnation des mutilations génitales féminines. Et de nombreux organismes qui contrôlent la mise en œuvre des traités des Nations Unies relatifs aux droits de l'homme prennent en compte les mutilations génitales féminines dans leur observation finale sur la façon dont les États respectent leurs obligations à l'égard des traités. Et le comité contre la discrimination à l'égard des femmes, le comité des droits de l'enfant et le comité des droits de l'homme ont activement condamné les mutilations génitales et recommandé des mesures pour lutter contre cette pratique, notamment en la criminalisant. Et depuis de nombreuses années, l'Union africaine a déployé des efforts considérables pour mettre fin aux mutilations génitales féminines. En 2003, son assemblée a adopté le protocole à la Charte africaine des droits de l'homme et des peuples relatif aux droits des femmes en Afrique, plus connu sous le nom du protocole de Maputo. Et cet instrument juridique est fondamental pour garantir des droits étendus aux femmes et pour éradiquer les mutilations génitales féminines. L'article 5 du protocole de Mobutu, l'élimination des pratiques néfastes, stipule que les États interdisent et condamnent toutes les formes et pratiques néfastes qui affectent négativement les droits humains des femmes et qui sont contraires aux normes internationales. L'État prend toutes les mesures législatives et autres mesures afin d'éradiquer ces pratiques et notamment interdire par des mesures législatives assorties de sanctions toute forme de mutilation génitale féminine, la esclavation, la médicalisation et la paramédicalisation des mutilations génitales féminines et toute autre pratique néfaste afin de les éradiquer. Au niveau de l'Afrique centrale, en tant qu'ambassadrice Saleema pour l'Afrique centrale, on peut citer quelques pays qui ont déjà les lois contre ces pratiques. On peut citer la République centrafrique avec la loi principale contre les mutilations génitales féminines et la loi numéro 6-032 du 27 décembre 2006 portant protection de la femme contre les violations en République centrafricaine. La loi numéro 10.001 du 6 janvier 2010 portant code pénal de la République centrafrique incrimine également la pratique de mutilation génitale féminine et le gouvernement tchadien a adopté et ratifié ces dernières années beaucoup de textes nationaux et internationaux pour protéger les femmes et les filles. Ces derniers en date en ordonnance numéro 006 du 14 mars 2015 interdisant ainsi le mariage des enfants. Mais les efforts de cet arsenal juridique ne sont pas très palpables. L'exemple le plus élégant est la loi numéro 006 portant sur la promotion de la santé de reproduction promulguée en 2002, mais dont le degré d'application tarde à venir, ce qui devrait résoudre les questions de mariage précoce, de mutilation génitale féminine et bien d'autres dans ces vastes pays d'Afrique centrale. Les pays qui ont fait montrer dans ces domaines et qui sont des exemples inspirants, autant pour moi interdisant juridiquement les mutilations génitales féminines au Kenya, en Ouganda et en Guinée-Bissau. Les Kenyans, des plaidoyers convaincants ont été faits par des femmes parlementaires. Ouganda a utilisé l'influence déterminante des anciens de la communauté. Et en Guinée-Bissau, la détermination des ONG au gré des succès et des reculs. Et nous, en tant que des ambassadrices, Saleema, nous allons joindre nos forces aux lois existantes et plaider pour la naissance des lois anti-mutilation là où il n'y en a pas, afin de venir à bout de cette pratique ô combien néfaste et que chaque fille grandisse Saleema, c'est-à-dire complète et saine. Et nous allons nous inspirer des exemples du Kenya, de la Guinée et de l'Ouganda afin d'impliquer tous les acteurs concernés dans ces domaines, des autorités administratives aux autorités traditionnelles et en passant par les exercices eux-mêmes. Et pour finir, je cite le président de l'Assemblée nationale du Burkina Faso qui disait « On peut être un bon Africain et fidèle à la tradition sans faire exciser les filles. » Je vous remercie.
Thank you, Saida. Thank you all the Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors for your contribution on today's question. And this event wouldn't be quite complete without a male ally. As much as all 6 Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors are women, we cannot achieve our goal without boys and men support. So this is why we would like to thank all men standing with us in this process, especially His Excellency President Kabori, the African Union champion for the elimination of female genital mutilation, and His Excellency the Ambassador of Burkina Faso, Mr. Leopold Bonkongo, and His Excellency Moussa Faki, Chairman of the African Union Commission, and all male colleagues inside the AU within the partner organizations. And now, please allow me to welcome one of our main allies, UNICEF representative to the African Union and the Economic Commission for Africa, Dr. Edward Ade. Hi, Dr. Edward.
Thank you, Bassam, and I'm very glad to be one of the men standing with you, joining you in this fight against female genital mutilation. Excellencies.
You are one of a minority, Adi. Especially today.
Thank you. Excellencies, today I want to celebrate a couple of things. And the first thing I want to celebrate is that UNICEF and UNFPA join you to celebrate you, the 6 Saleema Volunteer Victorious Ambassadors. We are really proud of you. We want to tell you you are not alone, and we want to recommit to supporting you and accompanying you in your journey. So you can count on us as you move forward. The second person I want to celebrate is Her Excellency Amira Afadel. Madam Afadel, I want to celebrate you for your leadership and commitment to the fight against FGM, and without a doubt, you deliver what you say you would. I've heard a lot of young people, Madam Afadel, say they want to be like you when they grow up. You are a true model for change in Africa. Thank you very much for the work you do.
Thank you, Adi. Thank you.
I also want to celebrate Aya for her vision, sustained commitment to youth engagement, and her drive. I mean, her drive is very palpable, and she makes things happen. Thank you, Aya, for being the voice of the voiceless and for committing to work with ambassadors in really advancing the fight against female genital mutilation and I would say harmful practices in our continent. Madam Bokum and Ambassador Nyarazai, your sustained engagement, your commitment always comes through in the work you do, which really reflects a lot of your statements. Madam Nyarazai, thank you for being there for our young people. Madam Bokum, thank you for being there and for pushing the frontiers on practices, harmful practices on our continent. We are really grateful for your partnership and for your continuous engagement and leadership. I also want to celebrate the government of Burkina and all the governments who are really pushing the frontiers of the fight against female genital mutilation and harmful practices on our continent. And through you, Ambassador Leopold, to the President of Burkina Faso for the leadership and the continuous engagement to ensure that FGM and other harmful practices remain on the agenda of the African Union. We thank you so much for the work that you continue to do. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, FGM is a result of multiple layers of interactions and interconnectedness of values, of norms, of decisions, and of actions. It's really embedded in the way our societies are operating. So far, these interactions, unfortunately, have not worked for about 150 million people in Africa, 125 million people in Africa, and the numbers continue to increase, meaning the interactions are really not working for some of our young girls and young women on our continent. So the real question for us is, how do we change these interactions into positive interactions that help us really reverse the current trend and do that quickly? We need speed of change. That is the challenge that we have, and I hope that our ambassadors see that as the value that they bring in this fight against FGM, bringing change to the interactions, the values that are and the processes that are happening at the community level, but bringing that change fast. Because if we don't do that, a few more children, unfortunately, would be victims of FGM, and so we welcome you into the landscape of efforts that are going on in the fight against FGM, and we hope that you really bring acceleration to the good work that Her Excellency Amira Al-Fadel has started. Let me offer four ideas to guide us and to inform us as we begin to move forward. The first is empathy. Thank you, Adimbola, for your story and for sharing it. I think it really brings to life the reality that our young girls continue to face. Within that framework, we are asking for your help to put a human face on this FGM issue. It's important for people to see that as a reality. We are asking for your help for those who are to help those who are victims to become victors like you. We are asking for your help to really help change the narrative on FGM. So my first message is, let's put a human face to FGM, because the statistics are hiding the real people. And I want to thank you once again, Adimbola, for your story. The second is curiosity. We've been trying for so long, and there's been a lot happening that you can build on. But I ask you to continuously be curious and to ask the simple question: what is the system that continues to sustain an FGM? Why is it that in spite of our efforts, children are still being cut? We need your help to answer that question, because things are changing, things are evolving. And not just stay at the level of the problem, but help us find solutions. What can we do? To use Madam Amira's word, that the fight ends in this generation. We need audacious goals. We need you to help us make these audacious goals a reality. The fight must end in this generation. If we don't end this fight in this generation, Madam Amira will be very sad. And I know you don't want to make her sad. Please help us. The third is to reinforce Ambassador Nyarazai's words. The third is courage. The courage to act and the courage to make a difference. The only sin that you can commit is the sin of inaction. Madam Nyarazai said it so eloquently, and so I want to reinforce it. Help us do a couple of things, and I want to leave you with 4 R's. The first is rapid response. For the girls who are at risk, please help us put a rapid response mechanism in place so that these girls don't go through the process. Help us. The second is that there are some populations that are at risk. Help us scale action in these communities that are cutting so many more children. Common things occur commonly in this world, and there are some communities that see a lot of it. So focus your efforts in those communities where there's a lot of the practice happening. So that's the second R. It's a realignment of our efforts. So the first R is rapid response. The second R is a realignment of our efforts. The third R, which is around the system, we need to redesign the system. We need to begin to look at the systems and the interactions that continue to make sure that our young girls are being cut. Help us redesign these systems. What are the interactions that are happening at the family level? What are the interactions that are happening at the community level? And thank you once again, Adimbola. You are a living story of what your mother learned. It's those interactions that you should help us redesign to help us make sure that no child within this decade is cut. And the last, which I want to leave with you, is about reframing. And one of your colleagues said it so well. It's about changing the narrative. We need to work together to change the narrative. We need to educate our people. We need to reframe our values. We need to reframe our norms. We need to reframe our beliefs. We need to help so that people who are victims are not double jeopardized. We need to reframe it. Help us in these areas. So those are my 4 R's in terms of courage. We need your courage to act and to do things. And please don't commit the cardinal sin of inaction. Make a difference. The last point I wanted to raise in my 4 ideas that I wanted to share with you is collaboration. You have been selected because you are good. Never ever doubt that. You have gone through a difficult process of selection. You are good, and we are proud of you, and you can do a lot. But you can achieve more if you work together. So find a way, and I like the idea of a network. Find a way of becoming a network where you share ideas, you draw on each other's strengths, you help each other with your weaknesses, The good things that are happening in North Africa can be learned in West Africa. That's how we can achieve scale. So as we celebrate you, ambassadors, we look up to you for help. We look up to your leadership, and we hope that in this generation, you help us make the Born Saleema and Grow Saleema initiative a reality. Thank you very much, and I'm very pleased to be working with you. Bye for now. Over to you, Soraya.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adai. Thank you, everyone. The 6 Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors. Congratulations and welcome to the Saleema family. Thank you very much, Excellency Ambassador of Burkina Faso, for being with us to represent the African Union champion for the elimination of female genital mutilation in Africa, His Excellency President Kabouré. Excellency Amira Al-Fadil, Commissioner for Social Affairs, thank you so much for carrying this Saleema initiative, for creating the Saleema initiative, and for giving us the space and giving the 6 Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors the space to be here today and to speak up. Thank you very much, Honorable Member Marie-Christine Bokoum of the Committee of African Experts on the Rights and Welfare of the Child. We appreciate that you took from your time to be here with us today. Thank you very much to the Goodwill Ambassador for the African Union campaign to end child marriage. Nafisa Toujab from UNFPA, who had to leave, unfortunately, because she had another commitment, the steering committee of the joint program. Thank you also to Aya Shebi, the African Union Youth Envoy, who unfortunately also had another commitment, so she's no longer here with us. Thank you to all of the team. Thank you to the interpreters and everyone at the Department of Social Affairs who has helped us and supported us. We are forever grateful. This is just the beginning for our new program with the 6 Saleema Youth Victorious Ambassadors. Kausar, Abimbola, Paleza, Dikel, Basma, and Sahada. Please remember their names. You will be hearing from them very soon again. We are so proud and happy that we have introduced them to you today. Thank you again. Thank you to all participants for watching and being here today with us, and for all of your support. I wish you a very good afternoon, and we will see you all very soon to start implementation of this program together.
Thank you, Thuraya, and thank to all of you. And thank you, Dr. Adi, for this very, very good closing remarks. And when we were finishing your words, I said, I need to hear this again. So I think, Thuraya, you will bring it to me to hear it again. Thank you very much, the 6 ambassadors, the representatives of the 5 regions, and the representative of the diaspora. Thank you very much, Madame Bokoum. Thank you, Ambassador of Burkina Faso, Nafi, Aya, everybody. I'm really, really pleased today to witness this launching of your role, which is going to add to what we are doing, and bringing you, it means bringing the young Africans as part of this fight against FGM. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Merci bien.
Merci beaucoup pour votre présence, Excellence.
Merci, ma soeur.
Merci.
Et à bientôt.
À bientôt. Victorious Youth Ambassadors, you did great. I am so proud of you. Bravo to all 6 of you. You are wonderful. I cannot wait to start working together. Okay? So thank you so much for all your efforts. I know this has been hectic and a bit stressful. Organizing events and launches are always like this, but we will talk very soon. We have participants right now who are disconnecting. So let's talk very soon. You can be so proud of yourselves. Please, please, please celebrate this amazing achievement that you have accomplished here today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Soraya.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you so much, Soraya. Thank you for the support. You've been amazing. You know, in this short period, you've been amazing. And thanks for coming to my inbox to say, oh, Bimba. Thank you so much. It's really amazing. I was initially nervous. Oh my God, how is it gonna be?
No problem, don't worry.
I'm glad you did well.
Thank you so much.
My sisters.
Thank you so much. Ada, merci beaucoup pour ta participation. Bravo, tu peux être fière de toi. Ça a été génial. Je sais
Thank you so
much. Mais en tout cas, bravo. Nickel.
Merci aussi à toi, Soraya, pour tous tes efforts fournis. C'était pas du tout évident, mais vraiment, merci beaucoup de nous avoir accompagnés durant tout ce temps. Sincèrement, on apprécie énormément. Et pour ta disponibilité, tes encouragements et tout, merci infiniment. Merci aussi à toutes ces personnes qui ont participé à cet événement. Donc, merci vraiment de nous avoir accordé votre temps et votre énergie. Merci de nous avoir écoutés.
Merci. Au revoir, à très bientôt les filles. Let's keep in touch. I'll send you an email very soon, tomorrow
Okay.
Okay.
Ciao, ciao to everyone.
Hello, everyone.
See you.